Bold and the Beautiful. 5 characters we desperately need back now on B&B. Epic comebacks. Bold and the Beautiful fans feel things are kind of getting dull on the CBS soap because we've tied off all the loose ends. Pretty much most everybody is paired off. Luna Nozowa's Lisa Yamada. Dead, and there's no villains around stirring the pot. So, we need some drama on the CBS soap, and there are some characters that are off-screen right now that could bring the spice back to Bold. Will Thomas Forrester crash Hope Logan's wedding? A B&B return fans crave. Alright, so the number 1 character name I see dropped on social media that fans keep saying they want to see back because you either love him or you love to hate him. That is Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson. So we got Matt Atkinson back for 2 scan episodes not that long ago to comfort Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, when Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, dumped her and then abruptly and instantly remarried Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. But Thomas, showed up, got mad, and then abruptly did a 180, gave his blessing and left town. It was bizarre and anticlimactic. And of course, right now, Hope Logan's Annika Noel, engaged to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton. I expect them to plan a wedding perhaps as soon as the Christmas holiday, maybe New Year's. And of course, we know that Thomas is due back around Christmas. But all indications point to another short-term return. Not Matt Atkinson back on contract like a lot of people want. Casey Kasperzik said that Matt Atkinson was back filming for a week, and that coincided with a week they know they were filming Christmas episodes. So maybe a handful of episodes, him filming for a week that could get us up to, 10 episodes, say, but not Thomas back for good. Not when it's only a week. Bold and the Beautiful. Hope on the horizon? I do think it'd be great if Matt Atkinson's character was back and he came to disrupt Hope and Liam's wedding or to give design advice on hope for the future designs. And if Thomas came back, he can bring Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samry, with him because Hope needs her son. Also, Thomas needs a love interest now that he and Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, are over. So he and Hope seem done, but a lot of fans would love to have her back with Thomas. But I think if they're going to leave Hope with Liam, why not bring Thomas back to Bold and pair him with Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer? She used to have a thing for Thomas back in the day, and although both of them are Forresters by name, they're not related, not even a drop of blood between them. I'd also like to see Ashley Brewer on more often as Ivy. And unfortunately, I do think Thomas is a long shot to come back, but it would be awesome if he did. However, Brad Bell seems to like sticking us with nonsense like Remy Price, Christian Weissman, on the screen while keeping Thomas away. And I do expect if he is back for Hope's wedding that it might be the same thing like with Brooks and Ridge's wedding where he shows up and acts like he's going to make a big scene and then just gives his blessing and then gets on a plane and goes back to France. Bring back Quinn Fuller, rekindling romances and rivalries on B&B. All right, number 2 on our list of characters we would love to have back is Quinn Fuller, Rena Sofer. She left Bold and the Beautiful back in 2022, not long after she crashed Carter Walton's, Lauren St. Victor, wedding to Paris and asked him to be with her. Carter walked out on the bride and chose Quinn. And then after Carter did that, abruptly she was just gone. And if you were watching back then, you'll remember that Quinn and Carter had fallen in love. At first, it started out to be mostly chemistry. They were having an affair behind Eric Forrester's, John McCook, back when he and Quinn were married. And Eric eventually found out, but then he told Carter he could keep betting Quinn because Eric was suffering from ED. But Quinn and Eric's marriage fell apart when he started playing dirty pickleball games with Donna Logan, Jennifer Garais, behind her back. Plus Quinn, busted in and then asked Carter to choose her. And after he dumped her at the altar just out of nowhere, Bold tanked Carter and Quinn's romance. So, after building it up and destroying her and Eric's marriage, it just kind of didn't make sense. And out of the blue, Rena Sofer was just gone. Quinn went to lunch and basically never returned. Bold and the Beautiful. Location, location, location. Now, I will say one thing. She is semi-retired. She said, She was leaving to work on her pottery business. But then she went over and did a lengthy contract run over on General Hospital. So, I would definitely like to see Quinn come back and either steal Eric from Donna, or Quinn comes back to make trouble for Carter and his new romance with Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire. However, if Quinn did return, they might have to recast her because Rena Sofer is semi-retired and recently moved from LA to New York. But she officially wrapped her run at General Hospital, so you never know. She could come back to Bold one day. Why Wyatt Spencer's return is crucial for BNB's Spencer family drama. Alright, on to number 3. Wouldn't it be great to have Wyatt Spencer, Darren Brooks, back for good? I feel like Darren Brooks' return is long overdue, at least for a lengthy arc, even if he doesn't stay long term. Wyatt is another character that just evaporated one day that fans really miss. There are other characters that evaporated that fans don't care so much about, like R.J. Forrester, Joshua Hoffman. I mean, they didn't even bring Wyatt back for Liam's fake cancer crisis or when he was shot. It would be a real shame also if Brad Bell didn't bring back Wyatt, at least for a couple episodes, for Liam's wedding to Hope. Plus, Wyatt's little brother, Spencer Crew Morrow, has been going through this terrible crisis. He was molested by lunatic Luna, who got pregnant, miscarried, then ran over. So, the Spencers and their ongoing drama could absolutely benefit from Wyatt being there to support them. Also, if Darren Brooks came back, we could see Wyatt as a possible love interest for Ivy, who I think people would like to see more of as well. Dr. James Warwick, the unexpected B&B return that could shake up Sheila's storyline. All right, the number 4 return we'd like to see is Dr. James Warwick, Ian Buchanan. And I know that sounds like out of nowhere, but recently Bold dropped a little hint. Maybe it was for nothing or maybe it was for something. When Taylor was in her office at the hospital, she was reading James's book. He is also a psychiatrist, and we saw Taylor looking at his book, and then she slid it back onto her shelf. Also, James was involved romantically with both Taylor and Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown. Back in the day during a blizzard, Taylor took James's V-card, so he wouldn't die a virgin because they thought for sure they were going to freeze to death. And he was married to Sheila. They have a daughter, Crazy Mary Warwick. Also, the actor who played him, Ian Buchanan, is a fan favorite. And James' return would fit perfectly into current storylines because he could counsel his ex-wife Sheila if indeed she does wind up losing her hubby Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon. Or Sheila could rebound with him and just let Taylor have Forrester. Why Jacob Young should return to B&B. Alright, last but not least, at number 5 on our list of returns we'd like to see to Bold and the beautiful is the gorgeous Rick Forrester, Jacob Young. It has been a hot minute since Brooks and Eric's son was on Bold. Rick was another one that just got abruptly ditched by B&B. Jacob Young left Bold in 2018. A lot of fans miss him and they want to know where he is and why we don't even see him for family occasions. Rick had lots of love, lots of drama back in the day. He was married to the younger Caroline Spencer and Amber Moore, Adrienne France, and also Maya Avant, Carla Mosley. And last we heard Rick and Maya split, and Rick has been living in Paris ever since. So I would love to see all these bold and the beautiful old school characters come back, and I think a lot of fans would like that too. It would be great because the current storylines we have left are mostly dull. There's not a lot of stage set for drama. With everybody pretty much paired off and happy, where's the soapiness, right? So bring back some of these characters and things could really pick up on B&B. Los Angeles, the glitz, the glamour, the endless love triangles. For decades, the bold and the beautiful has given us all the drama we crave. But let's be brutally honest. Lately, the era at Forrester Creations and the Spencer Publications high-rise has felt a little stale. We're watching the same couples break up and make up, the same feuds reignite, and the same handful of players rotate through the drama. The show needs an earthquake. It needs a massive shakeup that pulls characters out of their predictable orbits and throws them into a vortex of scandal, passion, and old-school soap opera chaos. The solution isn't to create new characters. It's to remember the power of the past. The greatest feuds, the most volatile romances, and the most compelling schemes were often driven by characters who have quietly slipped off the canvas. Well, that silence is about to be shattered. We at LA Soap Shock have compiled the definitive list. 5 legendary figures whose immediate return would not just elevate the show, but redefine it. These aren't mere guest appearances. These are epic, long-term comebacks that would unleash the fury we all desperately miss. Forget your current storylines. These are the characters we need back now. 1. Quinn Fuller, the phoenix of passion and poison. The day Quinn Fuller, Rena Sofer, left the show, a palpable void opened up in the heart of B&B. She was the deliciously unpredictable wild card, the jeweler with a past who could be both a loving wife and a manipulative menace in the same scene. Her departure left several storylines dangling, most notably the steamy, yet stable, relationship she had forged with Carter Walton, affectionately known as Quarter. Why we need her back. Carter is currently wrapped up in his corporate duties, his love life respectable but tepid. Quinn's return wouldn't just be a romantic reunion, it would be a confrontation of destiny. Imagine Quinn, the queen of drama, walking into the Forrester CEO office, or more likely a romantic rendezvous, only to find Carter moving on with someone else. Her jealousy would be legendary, her schemes to reclaim him or punish him would be must-watch TV. But the real gold lies in her relationship with Eric. Quinn and Eric had one of the most unique and enduring love stories on the show. With Eric potentially facing new challenges or even a health crisis, Quinn's maternal, protective fury would be unleashed. She wouldn't just stand by and watch. She would scheme to take care of him, perhaps causing a massive rift with Eric's current partners, or even trying to seize control of the family business under the guise of protecting her ex-husband's legacy. Quinn is a character who doesn't just react to drama. She creates it, polishes it, and sells it. Her return promises an immediate, intense surge of energy that the show desperately needs. She brings stakes, style, and a glorious sense of danger that no other current character can replicate. 2. Wyatt Spencer, the missing link of the Spencer dynasty. The dynamic trio, Dollar Bill, Liam, and Wyatt Spencer, once anchored the show's non-Forrester drama. Wyatt, Darren Brooks, was the stabilizing force, often providing needed levity and a slightly more grounded perspective compared to his perpetually angst-ridden brother, Liam, and his overly dramatic father, Bill. His easy charm and ability to navigate both the Logan and Forrester worlds made him an indispensable component of the LA scene. Yet he vanished, taking his mother, Quinn, with him in a vague off-screen move. Why we need him back. The Spencer men are currently in disarray. Bill is either obsessing over a Logan sister or being written as a shell of his former, powerful self. Liam is stuck in the same cycle of waffling between Hope and Steffi. Wyatt's return would instantly inject fresh life into Spencer Publications and the Spencer family dynamic. Picture this. Wyatt returns not just to check on his dad and brother, but with a vengeance. He could come back having quietly built his own empire, a rival publishing house or a luxury fashion blog that threatens the established order. This move would force Bill to see Wyatt as a genuine rival, not just a son, and would pull Liam out of his love rut to deal with a real corporate threat. Wyatt also has deep romantic ties to both Hope and Steffi, having been married to both, and his presence would automatically complicate any attempt they make to move forward with other men. He provides a much-needed balance of humor, genuine heart, and underlying Spencer steel. Wyatt is the popular, handsome, slightly less neurotic Spencer brother, and right now, we need his sunny, yet competitive presence to remind the Logan and Forrester ladies what they're missing. He is the missing piece of the Spencer puzzle, and the show suffers for his absence. Point 3. Thorne Forrester, the true legacy challenger. The Forrester family legacy is currently governed by a duopoly, Ridge and his daughter Steffi. While this pairing provides drama, it has effectively marginalized the other family bloodlines and made Forrester creations feel smaller. The House of Fashion needs the return of Thorne Forrester to restore the balance and reignite the original Forrester-Forrester rivalry that defined the show's early years. Thorne, Windsor Harmon / Ingo Rademacher, has always been the overlooked son, living in Ridge's shadow, but possessing genuine design talent and a deep sense of loyalty to the family name. Why we need him back? Thorne's return wouldn't be for a short visit. It would be to challenge the very foundation of how Forrester Creations is run. Imagine him arriving from Europe, not just as an employee, but perhaps as the majority shareholder, having quietly bought out shares or been given a secret mandate by Eric. His first order of business? To review the financial mismanagement under Ridge and Steffi, and most importantly, to challenge Ridge's relationship with Brooke. Thorne has always been deeply in love with Brooke, and his return would offer a legitimate alternative for the Logan matriarch, forcing Ridge to actually compete for her heart for once. Furthermore, Thorne's presence as a senior, legitimate Forrester sibling would give Eric an ally and a buffer against Ridge's often high-handed behavior. The new Thorne could be hardened, more focused, and less tolerant of Ridge's antics. He wouldn't just want the top job. He would believe he deserves it, making the fashion house battle fiercer than it has been in years. Thorne's comeback promises corporate espionage, family warfare, and a love story that could finally give Brooke a chance at true, respectful happiness, something Ridge rarely offers. 4. Rick Forrester, the scorned son's retribution. Like Thorne, Rick Forrester, Jacob Young, is a legacy character whose departure created a massive hole in the Forrester family tapestry. Rick is Eric's youngest son, a character with a volatile temper, a history of going head-to-head with Ridge, and an undeniable claim to the Forrester name. Rick left years ago, disappearing with his wife Maya, to oversee Forrester International, but the true reason for his exit, feeling marginalized by Ridge and Thomas, remains an open wound. Why we need him back? Rick's return could not be peaceful. He needs to come back with a focused vendetta against his stepbrother, Ridge, and a burning desire to reclaim his rightful place at Forrester Creations. If he returned as the new CEO of a rival company, or perhaps even as the true leader of Forrester International, the competition would be instantaneous and deadly. The current corporate landscape is too complacent. Rick's return would force Ridge, Steffi, and Hope to fight for their positions, making every fashion line a high-stakes, ruthless battle. Rick has never forgotten the indignities he suffered at the hands of the favorites, and he would use every tactic at his disposal to bring them down. We could see him funding a rival designer, maybe even secretly backing the return of Spectre Fashions, or launching a hostile takeover. This is the opportunity to see a full-blown family civil war, with Eric caught squarely in the middle, torn between his favorites and his neglected son. Rick is the perfect character to provide the raw, emotional conflict and corporate intrigue that only a scorned blood relative can deliver. 5. Maya Avant, the powerhouse designer and queen of controversy. It's impossible to discuss Rick Forrester's potential return without discussing the magnificent presence of Maya Avant, Carla Cheatham Mosley. Maya was not just Rick's wife. She was a pioneering model, a dynamic designer, and a character who brought massive, contemporary social issues and unparalleled glamour to the B&B canvas. Her groundbreaking storyline made global headlines, yet her character, like Rick's, faded away in the shadows of the show's main couples. Why we need her back? Maya's return would be a seismic event for multiple characters. Firstly, she and Rick are a powerful couple, and their combined presence immediately creates a new power block at Forrester Creations. Maya could quickly challenge Hope's Hope for the Future line, or even Steffi's position, bringing a much-needed female corporate rivalry that isn't centered on who gets to be Ridge's wife. More importantly, Maya's return would be a direct challenge to her sister, Nicole, and her ex-boyfriend, Carter Walton. Maya and Carter's past was complicated and passionate, and seeing them cross paths in the halls of FC while Carter is currently involved with another woman would create instant, electric tension. Her presence would force Zen to confront his past feelings, and she could also become an influential mentor or a calculating rival to younger characters like Paris. Maya is a character who combines high fashion with deep personal substance. She brings an air of sophistication, an undercurrent of ambition, and the ability to spark drama wherever she walks. Her return is the key to unlocking the true potential of the next generation of Forrester Creations drama, transforming a stale fashion house into the battlefield it once was. The ball is in Belle's court. There you have it. 5 essential characters, 5 proven powerhouses, and 5 guaranteed ways to light a match under the current storylines of The Bold and the Beautiful. The drama on B&B is built on history, rivalry, and intense familial bonds. We could see him funding a rival designer, maybe even secretly backing the return of Spectre Fashions, or launching a hostile takeover. This is the opportunity to see a full-blown family civil war, with Eric caught squarely in the middle, torn between his favorites and his neglected son. Rick is the perfect character to provide the raw, emotional conflict and corporate intrigue that only a scorned blood relative can deliver. 5. Maya Avant, the powerhouse designer and queen of controversy. It's impossible to discuss Rick Forrester's potential return without discussing the magnificent presence of Maya Avant, Carla Cheetah Mosley. Maya was not just Rick's wife. She was a pioneering model, a dynamic designer, and a character who brought massive, contemporary social issues and unparalleled glamour to the B&B canvas. Her groundbreaking storyline made global headlines, yet her character, like Rick's, faded away in the shadows of the show's main couples. Why we need her back? Maya's return would be a seismic event for multiple characters. Firstly, she and Rick are a powerful couple, and their combined presence immediately creates a new power block at Forrester Creations. Maya could quickly challenge Hope's hope for the future line, or even Steffi's position, bringing a much-needed female corporate rivalry that isn't centered on who gets to be Ridge's wife. More importantly, Maya's return would be a direct challenge to her sister, Nicole, and her ex-boyfriend, Carter Walton. Maya and Carter's past was complicated and passionate, and seeing them cross paths in the halls of FC while Carter is currently involved with another woman would create instant, electric tension. Her presence would force Zen to confront his past feelings, and she could also become an influential mentor or a calculating rival to younger characters like Paris. Maya is a character who combines high fashion with deep personal substance. She brings an air of sophistication, an undercurrent of ambition, and the ability to spark drama wherever she walks. Her return is the key to unlocking the true potential of the next generation of Forrester Creations drama, transforming a stale fashion house into the battlefield it once was. The ball is in Belle's court. There you have it. 5 essential characters, 5 proven powerhouses, and 5 guaranteed ways to light a match under the current storylines of The Bold and the Beautiful. The drama on B&B is built on history, rivalry, and intense familial bonds. By bringing back Quinn, Wyatt, Thorne, Rick, and Maya, the show would instantly tap into decades of unresolved resentments, fierce competition, and explosive passion. The current canvas is ripe for disruption, and these 5 returns would provide the necessary bombshells to send Ridge, Brooke, Steffi, and Liam into a glorious, chaotic tailspin. The fans are waiting, the Forrester and Spencer empires are vulnerable, and the time for these epic comebacks is now. Let's hope the producers are listening, because Los Angeles is about to get a whole lot more dangerous.